All right, so next up in our videos here, I'm going to work on connecting my computer to the RevHub. And I'm going to do this in this way will work for, well, if you look at our screen here, either doing the on-bot Java stuff or doing the blocks. And there's probably some more nuances in here that we'll get to. But basically what's going to happen in here is we are going to connect our Wi-Fi directly to the hub. And so I'm going to try and zoom in here a little bit, see if I can do that. Can we make this a little bit bigger maybe? Probably some technical stuff, I could do this better. But if we go into our Wi-Fi down here, we're going to click on this, and we are going to find we should find our RevHub C here. And we're going to click on that, and we're going to connect to it. One thing, and password is password. I'm going to say no. So we're going to connect to that directly. And then our next step is going to be to connect to that through Chrome. So if we go into here, we can see now if I go into my Wi-Fi, it's connected to RevHub C, no internet, but no problem. So let's pop open this. Let's get our internet up and running. And give me 1 second here. All right, so if we get back into here, we're going to look into our Chrome here. It's okay, so we're attached. Now we can access the device directly by punching in an IP address and a port number. That's what this thing is, these sets of numbers here, right here. http://192.168.43.431:8080, enter. And this is how we're accessing. So what we're doing right now is we are accessing this thing directly. We are directly into the hub, and that's what we do when we punch in that number. We're accessing the actual hub itself. So this video is going to be the same. If you are in the beginner or intermediate version of coding, this is going to work the exact same way. You can go into blocks or on Java here. On-bot Java is the Java version of doing this code, and blocks is the block version. So basically we click into here, and we're going to be able to access like any code that's stored on this computer. So if we want to create a new, it looks like there's some way we can download an offline blocks editor, which I'm very curious about exploring a little bit more. I don't know enough about that just yet. But this way, that might be really good for being able to do this at home, or be able to do this without connecting directly to the robot. But we can go into here, and if we do like a new on-bot Java, we can create some Java files directly into here. We can make something like a hardware setup, which should be our first thing. And we're going to go into our sample. We can pull samples of code that's already written directly onto here. And we want to find like the hardware pushbot. Not going to be in OP mode. And we'll do that. Okay. And now in here, we're going to have our actual code where we can set up everything for our DC motors. And kind of the goal of this part of the code is to actually, I'm not going to go too deep into here because I do want to have maybe separate videos for blocks or if you're doing on-bot Java. But basically, here's where you're going to be writing your code. Maybe just let me give a quick overview of the blocks. It's going to be very similar. We can create a new OP mode here. Let's make this like hardware builder. I think we're going to need to have a hardware thing in here as well. We'll go into maybe a little more details and make separate videos, separate branching videos based on what choices you're going to make in here. So that should be enough just to kind of get started. What is happening is here is we are, instead of writing our code in a separate thing like Android Studio, which is the advanced version of this, we're going to write our code directly onto the robot. And I think this will give us a little bit easier of a kind of a start into doing this. Instead of having to set up all the stuff with Android Studio, I think this will be an easier version.